power, strength, speed, ego, intelligence. These words describe the alien known as Freeza. Freeza is an unstoppable powerhouse that has been regarded as the most well-known villain of all time, and has the best presentation as a villain for who he is. Hi, I'm Talon Talks. Let's talk about Freeza, and how he is as strong as he is evil. Freeza is quite possibly the best villain in early Dragon Ball Z, and better than those throughout OG Dragon Ball. He uses his strength to take on the weak, because what's the use in not doing that? Even when the enemy isn't weak, by our standards. What's the problem with using your strength to take on the weak and take things from them? I say this because he doesn't care if he needs to kill someone, they'd just be another statistic, and that's just how Freeza is. Frieza's evil as he is immensely powerful. No one can actually beat him, and he knows this, using that power of his to attain what he wants, which gives him an ego. And one thing is, in which he constantly believes himself to be the most powerful, as he hasn't been beaten, threatened, or matched at all up to this point. This all feeds into his ego, and makes him believe that he is this unstoppable god who is above everyone else, when in reality, he's an egotistical alien leader with a god complex. In his fight against Goku, he states that not even the Super Saiyan can beat him, viewing himself as the utmost powerful creature with no weakness and no way to be beaten. You can even see this ego when he was outsmarted when Dende took the Dragon Balls. He said that he deserves that power, not those lowlives. He didn't say Namekians, humans, Saiyans, he said lowlives. And that's what they truly are to him at the end of the day. They are lowlives, sure, of different races, all the same at the end of the day. They mean nothing, but a small inconvenience to the devil himself, Freeza. Freeza is the reason why Dragon Ball is praised to this day, because he was insanely powerful, unbeatable, and evil. Why do you fight on when you know that you are going to lose? Because your friends were killed, or because you are just that stubborn? But with this power, he becomes more evil and more selfish. With no way to be humbled, there's no way to be normal, let alone good. Freeza is doing these evil things for his gain, with those around him mostly acting out of fear rather than respect. The planets must bow down, or they will face his wrath. These Namekians must hand over the Dragon Balls, or they will be killed. All of the things in the universe belong to him, and not a soul can stop that. Not his countless victims, not his betrayers, not the Super Saiyan. And so with that ego, with that power, he takes what he wants from anyone imaginable, because simply put, who is going to stop him? But Frieza's selfishness and ego does usually come with intelligence. Frieza isn't entirely egotistical, well, he is. He thinks of his circumstances and learns how to overcome them, because yes, while he is this egotistical being who takes what he wants and fights the weak, he isn't a brainless husk. He prepares for these situations and improvises in any situation. For the first time Frieza was seriously injured, he had his tail cut off, and this affects him in more ways than just the loss of his tail. He begins dodging Krillin's attacks. Unlike with those attacks that barely hurt him, he is genuinely scared here, because there is a chance, no matter how small, that he can be defeated. And when you compare this to when he was at his utmost powerful in his final form, these seem like two different characters here when you compare their fear alone. When it comes to great treasure, like with here, there's a certain psychology to it. People look for things like this, such as love or money, but if they have a risk of being hurt by the outcome, they usually try to stay out of the way of that risk. This is common psychology that adds on to the ins and outs of why he's doing this. He does this out of fear and caution, but it's also done because he isn't some stupid egotistical maniac. He can fight when he needs to, and knows when he's outmatched. Though he does chase Krillin, he had been damaged physically, and his ego had been damaged as well. Akira Toriyama wants to show that he isn't just unstoppable and strong, but also intelligent enough to know how to fight. And sure, you can chalk this up to, oh, it's a martial arts series, this wasn't done on purpose. But even if it wasn't, this does add another layer to Frieza. But with that knowledge could come ego, and in Frieza's case, it did. Frieza's ego is used to show us his evil nature on a silver platter, added with some strength and intelligence. When you have a character who has a drive to be evil, it does make them look great when handled well. But a character who is evil for the sake of evilness makes them stand out more because they are just simply evil. They stand out and are very notable from other villains like Orochimaru or Aizen. These characters have drive, they have reason, motive, morality, ideology. Frieza's evil for the sake of it, doing what he wants because of it. Sure, he wants the Namekian Dragon Balls, but when you look at what all he's done throughout his lifetime, you start to realize more and more, he's simply just evil. As Totally Not Mark put it, he is unsympathetic. Nothing more, nothing less. Akira Toriyama is the GOAT of writing, and not because he was in the right place at the right time, but because he knew how to form villains and make them stick out. He never went with something where it was unneeded or was just simply bad. I'm sorry, Boo, get off the screen. He made Frieza with the one thing that rivaled Goku's pure-natured personality: pure evil. When Krillin lays his eyes on Frieza, what you see is true fear. A fear of something greater than death. A fear of the devil himself, Frieza. His design is something that is both iconic and makes sense. He is clearly a demon, the devil in its physical embodiment, coming down from the sky like a god bringing a reckoning to those who don't deserve it. He really doesn't care for what fear or destruction he brings onto the innocent. As long as his goals are being met, it doesn't matter. And when Frieza addresses the situation that his goals cannot be met, he seems unbothered. But don't let that fool you. Read between the lines. You destroyed my dream of immortality. Never, ever before has someone made such a fool of Frieza. He shows his true anger, and those around him feel his power when it reaches out to Piccolo. Frieza's transformation is the embodiment of Black Air Force energy. Using a transformation is a great way to display unbound power, and in Frieza's case, it was used to show how evil he was. He uses the transformations when he can't keep himself under control, and when he does, it changes everything. Like with here, Gohan is paralyzed in fear, the one to always become scared. When the situation calls, he tells himself to move, and he strikes Frieza over and over and over again, with that strength even surprising the Saiyan Prince Vegeta, and that makes him wonder if Gohan is the Super Saiyan. All of Gohan's inner rage, instinct, strength, all put into this one final strike. And the only thing that changes is the expression on Frieza's face. This is obviously being used to show the difference in strength between Frieza and everyone else, making this out to be completely one-sided. I love Frieza because he is unsympathetic, with this unforgiving nature of his shining brightly throughout this arc, and adding more power onto an already unstoppable character displays the hopelessness in a situation that the entire cast is in. Frieza is mainly being used to show unwalked ground in this series, in terms of power. Krillin gets killed, Gohan gets punched into the ground, and Vegeta can't do much of anything either. What else can they do other than hope? Or what could have been done since the start of this fight? The short answer, nothing. Nothing at all. Frieza's too strong, fast, battle-hardened, experienced. There is nothing that they can do. And how does Akira Toriyama add on to this fact and hammer it into the audience's heads? Frieza tells them that they'll have time to play later, showing that with the Dragon Balls gone, Frieza has no reason to rush around and that he's staying here. If not for the Dragon Balls, then to kill those who took them away from him. However, just as Frieza took the lives of those around him, Piccolo shows up to heal everyone, showing that Piccolo is the protector of his allies and his planet. And now, these lowly heroes might actually have a chance to beat Frieza. But then Frieza's final form is shrouded in smoke, and the moment it's revealed, it is not terrifying whatsoever, but looks can be deceiving. Sure, he looks like an asexual lizard and is partially one, but don't let that get your guard down. Frieza is unstoppable now. He cannot be defeated at all, and what little hope probably did remain has been eradicated by his presence. All will know and fear the name Frieza for lifetimes. However, I still think there is some hope left. The first words Goku says to Frieza is, "You must be Frieza. I didn't think you'd look so young," showing his innocence as well as his knowledge of battle. When Frieza sets his eyes on Goku, he isn't really put off or that scared, even after he'd been told that Goku is the Super Saiyan. Neither one of these stubborn fighters show or have fear staring down the other. These two are here for one thing: killing the other. Goku talks to Vegeta, and Goku talking to Vegeta in this fight makes this battle even more special for me than it initially was. He doesn't show hatred to Vegeta. He simply asks Vegeta for some of his pride to defeat Frieza. Goku finally fights Frieza, the one who destroyed his home. Sure, Earth is his home, but that's because of what Frieza did. He does this for his original home planet on planet Vegeta, and fights for those on his current home on Earth. Pride for his Saiyan heritage, and pride for his Earthling heritage as well. The final battle. Frieza's ego is far too big for him to believe that he is weaker than Goku. He has no integrity, and once he made a deal to not use his hands, he gives up on that endeavor when he begins to lose. He's too confident to win, but is more scared than anything. He sees what Vegeta was talking about, and he quite possibly knows that his destiny is to die for retribution by the last standing Saiyan's hands. The battle embodies vengeance for others. Not just the Saiyan race, but the Namekians, Earthlings, these weird ant things from that one filler episode. Goku fights for those he knows were hurt by Frieza, and those he doesn't know. As I've talked about ego, Frieza was finally hurt by Goku using the Kamehameha. This is the first time he had been hurt this badly in a meaningless fight. I mean, what's stopping Frieza from leaving the planet? Apart from Akira Toriyama, his ego, God complex, the image of himself he has in his head. He won't simply swallow his pride and take the loss. He won't let the Saiyan win. He refuses. And when Goku brings down the Spirit Bomb onto Frieza, he believes himself to be so powerful that he won't be affected. But that arrogance is soon turned into surprise when he gets overpowered by the blast, but Frieza gets back up. He can't be beaten, he can't lose, he can't stop until Goku is finally gone. And to prove that he is still far superior than them, he kills Krillin, which was his final mistake and the straw that broke the camel's back, holding in Goku's rage. "Get out of here while I still have control over myself," is probably the coldest line uttered by Goku, and it embodies what these transformations are: inconceivable power, power that no one can tame. Goku's strongest state versus Frieza's strongest state. Who will win? That is what the audience across the world beg to know. Arguably the most iconic fight to ever grace the screens of television. Frieza versus Goku. He rationalizes that Goku can't beat him, that he can't be defeated, because he is just that powerful. He is Frieza. No one, not even the Super Saiyan, can beat him. His fears begin to show when he pulls this out. He tries to blow up the planet as well as Goku cannot survive in the vacuum of space, but he can. This is his special little way of getting rid of his problem by eliminating his fear and getting rid of the final Saiyan. But before the planet can explode, Frieza attacks Goku with this. But it gets turned back on him, and he, the powerful, unstoppable Frieza, has been defeated. Goku has done what many wish to do: kill the beast that had slain many races before. Goku has avenged his race and saved the universe from the wrath of Frieza. Frieza's selfishness was his downfall, but so was his fear and ego. He was so engulfed by what he wanted that he eventually was killed for it, but he was also so selfish that he couldn't conceive of someone doing something with no gain to themselves. His fear made him strike Goku when he took pity on him, right after he was defeated, because his ego wouldn't allow him to have trust in Goku when he tries to help him. He tries to kill Goku again, but because why would another being who had been hurt by Frieza allow him to live? He can't believe that Goku is taking pity on him. He can't believe that someone would simply allow him to live. Both not believing that Goku would save him and his need for power brewing within him. If you have an ego, keep it in check, because it could possibly lead you down the same path as it did Frieza, a path to your own destruction. Oh, good lord, the Frieza video is finally out. For those of you wondering if I'm still going to continue the Soul Eater videos, yes. Sadly, I might like Soul Eater, but I'd rather cover villains, but that's besides the point. Hi everyone, Talon Talks here. I know I'm dressed like this, I just got off work and decided to record this video. You don't know how much work I put into this. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video and want more videos like this, simply subscribe, because I have many other Dragon Ball villains that I plan on covering. You can already guess who 2 of those are. Hell, you can probably think of who the 4th one is. And if I cover a 5th one, I feel like someone's gonna somehow manage to guess who that is. This is fun at times. But yeah, everyone, if you got this far, thank you for sticking around. And I'll see you next time. This is Talon Talks. Have a good day.